This is Assassin's Creed 3.
Used to be when people talked about the end of the world, we locked them up, or laughed them off. Sometimes both. But we never took them seriously. Maybe we should have. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning.
Check.
The abduction of Desmond Miles. Better to start at the beginning.
Check.
This boy had no ambition, no direction, no plans for the future. What he did have was a heritage, one he chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life. He was captured and imprisoned. Those who took him believed he could help them find something.
We'll continue where we left off. My name is GSR Joshua. We could play single player of this story. I think that's download content, but play a single player. It's like I'm in Boston right now. I'll be right back. I'm back, guys. We're going to continue where we left off on GSR Joshua, YT, Twitch. This is Miles. I'm gonna play this.
Are you by any chance John and Isabel?
Tap. So. I'll look at location. I don't know if I read this, guys. You might have heard about the referral as the Covent Gardens, which is face or the Royal Opera House, which is later it become. However, this is the original Theatre Royal building, opened in 1732, destroyed by the fire of 1808, will be rebuilt and destroyed by the fire again in 1857, and almost completed and re-renovated in the 90s. There were installed smoke detectors that time. Yep, smoke detectors. The red smoke detector saves your life, guys. The original theater lineup of viewers contains billed opera of either Orbatics. Many handle an opera open here right up until his death of 1959. Mr. stopped writing them to build the Miss Chain for the present play, at least for 100 years of history. The reason it held an exclusive rate for foreign speaking drama in London, awarded by King Charles II. Yes, the king could do that. I thought, why would it is behind me? Atlantic Ocean. Of course, the across the Atlantic today are easy to plan the ride, but as much as difficult the current times, even I thought I imagined the tiny flood and cramp condition of Lake Hoods and sitting next to the flat man, most hours were pretty much as the same. For the European travel was the best 6 weeks of voyage, but depends on the delay of could be at least a month. Dagger includes storms and their upset op, op, opposite. Being the became the seasick and the food run short and by dry and boredom because they have nothing to do all day. For the Africans I captured into the slavery, the Atlantic voyage are much worse across the Middle Passage. I moved to the Caribbean, the journey just long as they kept below deck and really allowed the fresh air. With the man I usually shackles, they're given one meal a day, less than provision run low. The disease was rampant and mortality rate were high. I never complained about being touched the airport and secured again through the fair where we firm friend and John and was very gentle. That's Atlantic Ocean. Charles Lee. Lewis's Miles was the deckhand original from the British. So what the opportunist was called Sonny Burton. He got his love in the sea for his father, who also was a sailor, for take a young Lewis in the sea with him at the age of 10. Sailing to London to Boston in a vessel named the Windward. We Grivet Old Miles kept the merchant traveling the world gained the Charles as he responsible level sailor. He joined the crew of Fent in 1752, stayed with the captain and crew through the various handships through the 1755. He think of moving on. That's Lewis Miles. Enzo Dory. This is unsafe. Oh, I should not read this one. He died. Enzo the version of the master assassin during the Italian Renaissance, as will be in her to the minister's ability, the ego vision, and the one of your ancestors. Enzo was something of a playboy in the teenager years, but his life was changed in 1476. His father was a brother were arrested and accused for treason. Enzo was saving them, but the name Mr. disappeared in the hands of his family friend. Instead, they were hanged, and Enzo look on. I know about that part. Enzo fled his mother and sister to Malaga, where he's cited refugee with his uncle Mario Aladori, while the original will continue on the settler Spain. Mario had other ideas, and his leader, the Italian assassinate brotherhood, and slept next to several Enzo convict him to the fight the Templars for the death of his father and brother. Enzo slept next to sign assassinating the way through the Templars' rank, even cornered the Templar Grand Master Rodrigo in Venice in 1487. I got away, but I was able to recover my apple and my family inducted into the assassin order. After several setbacks over the next year, Enzo traveled to Rome in 1499, confront Randall, who has been then becoming a pope, Alexander the Sixth. No, it's six, defending the Randall inspired with his life, and so opened the hidden vault under the Stephanie Chapel, and there he discovered a message left behind. The first civilizers were in the capital of the tree and the rat out the community. Yes, that would be the one would focus right now. Over 20 years or so, Enzo worked into the Assassin Brotherhood and fight the Templars with so we do. One of the greatest would be the discover the hidden library belongs to Asa, hidden under the former assassination stronghold of Mestre. Consider the message from the first civilization from retirement from the Brotherhood shortly thereafter, which is we call and on a high note. He was terrified at the jump too, and Enzo died in Florence after 1525. 24, I meant. Arthur was born into the Sassanid Brotherhood, into the stronghold of this earlier life. It was not a happy one. His mother died during the childbirth. Then he was a young boy. His father was killed during the first of Midsith. In the short thereafter, the assassin was died. Slave committed suicide in the front of the levy here, or author. Whoa. Which the parents go out there, looked at. This is like the first one I'm talking. Maybe this guy's in the first game. After here, looked at to Al-Mazla, the then mayor of the Order of the Father Figure, Al-Mazla, resigned to altar. Pancos take the training of professional altar, reach the rank of master, assassinated by the age of 25. Unheard of. If there was assassinated book records, there would probably be a picture of fella on the front. Arthur was one of the best fighters in the assassin history, with a rigorous match of the serious mission of the 1191, which is he broke the creed very nearly at the apple Eden. Let an apple of Eden fall into the Templars' hands. Arthur was back down in the novelist rank and forced to begin again. Part of his rehabilitation of responsibility for taking out the major players of Templar Order at the time, he included the guard, Master Robert Del Staff, tragedy, and of the also forced to kill Ali Muslim, turning out to the boast of Templars corruption by infusing the apple after his sister death of the year took control out, turning into the world's spun organization it's today. One of the things we made out of such a death, assassinate something that's called the ego vision, kind of sixth sense. From the first, it allows him to read his enemy's strellings in the way it's gone behind behind what the human eyes. Of course, you know more about than me. I can believe that just type that because in your blood and that part why you're here. Well, let's be honest. I know you were not here because of my solid attention, my warmth and passion and cuddle. Sean Ashtick is the one of the few members of the assassin who was not raised to join the order. He's recruited the teenager after the investigation in Intelio Brutalio's into industries made him a target for the Templars. Hashtag GAF organizations such as Assassin would become lost without him. What with his talents to make the connection between the history events wisely regarded as the almost intelligent person in the order, by wise the regrets as the most intelligent person in the order. I mean, he is 15 and the most intelligent person in the order. You must think he's an argument bastard, but that's only because he's smart than you. You like a less than able teenager girl. You found yourself not yet serious enough to move past the detailed and powerful feeling. I enjoyed the jealousy, the simple approach of me for who I am. Oh God, you're actually reading those. I was beginning to wonder. I was wasting my time because I know how much I love wasting my time. Now you make some tea, would you? Yeah, nice to try. Sean. Ringo Birch is a London merchant of son of another London who also had a last name Birch. Seems it was one of those hard to put in the finger on his thing that ran into his family. Birch started a business to himself at the early age, but time he was in the middle 20s, he already owned several merchant ships, meaning during the tea trade into the America colony. That pretty good going to see by the time most people are in their mid-20s, they do not own a shirt. I have to him the part owner of the province among other later in life. Burgess also owns several businesses around London. He's a member of the White Witches Posh Gentleman Club in the London and generally a well-known, respected man about the town. Formers from his can tell Birch met him in Conway while working for his father Edward. They were introduced at the White House. No, while him, I said White House, no, while White, him, he was a young, quiet Birch was eventually taking over him, eventually touring the wild tour of European in the 1730s. From the scene of Armas, seemed their friendships continue into the adulthood, then work together as members of the assassin. No, Charles Lee. Yeah, let's read this. The Providence. The Providence was one of the main sailors of ships in the British merchant navy, but the basic means it was trade ship rather than the one meaning of the war. You notice they carry the cannons, but those may protect against the pirates, privateer vessel, or for turning the ships into the privateer's vessels should need the arsenal. The ship, it was built in 1748. It made several trips in between several trips a year before the British in the North American colony often visited the West manifest locate also for interest mostly carries samples of tea, molasses, cloth, and contains by the parts of Owens of Samuel who got some of the responsible soldiers for both cure to his crew penny pinchers on rations, including not exactly to keep the sailors on board. The crew is probably both inexperienced and discuss and deal with the more you want experienced crew who hang huge grants of thought. You likely do not know how much run in an 18th century sail vessel odds men would not notice the difference. It's a ship that the Bigger Opera. The Bigger Opera. Bigger Opera. The Bigger Opera opened in London in 1728. It's a musical, one of the earliest of creations wrote. It was wrote by John G. was a right and a friend of both Alexander Pope, Jonathan Swift. Two of those are primary figures of those days. The opera was popular, controversial, popular parties between the exactly through Italian opera, which was very popular at the time. However, instead of competing in an Italian song, a bigger opera, a folk tune that audience could recognize, meaning you could hum along even if you do not know Italian. The controversial because the subject matter is set into the prison means people are criminals who act much like upper class. I was sent up in the British severity, including visual criticism of the head of the government near of one traditionally have sense of humor. I never met the Queen who knock jokes. Actually, I never met the Queen. But big opera was amusing, being based from the base form of entertainment because the main character was a criminal. I said, increasing crime. Nice to see the criticism isn't just movies, video games, play opera, corruption of a kid. Charles Lee, B. 1713. Charles Lee was a British soldier who went on the major figure of the Revolution War. Lee was a father of the colonial British Army and started his son off a military career. He was sent to the military academy in Switzerland during the formative years of the then 1746. Lee became the assigned the father Simon. He sent the colony to the 1755 fight in the France and Italian War. He survived the Redock, and then later at Fort Tick, where he was injured in the fight. Lee recovered after later feared the Fort Niagara. I always thought there were a lot of fort fight and finished the time in the colony was a British conquest in Montreal. He returned to England in 1760. He was probably because he was sneaking clear of he was named he was a name of a major of 1761. He was sent to fight the Spanish in Portugal and thought his several records those were good. Lee did not reveal his presence on his return home, and in fact he was retired from the army at half pay. After that, they become a vocalist attached to married higher ups. British Prime Minister found that a career of like incomplete so Charles Lee. I read everything, guys. I read everything. I need to follow Charles.
One and the same.
Your commission is with Edward Braddock, is it not?
It's like 30 minutes,
But
13
he's yet
minutes,
to reach
30
America,
minutes
and
of
I
reading,
figured I
guys.
might- Well, at least until he arrives, I thought.
Yes? Out with it.
Forgive me, sir. I had hoped that I might study under you. If I am to serve the Order, I can imagine no better mentor than yourself.
Kind of you to say, but I think you overestimate me.
Impossible, sir. This way.
Hello, sir. Bloody hell! Thief! Someone stop him!
Boston's quite a lively city.
There's all manner of things to see and do. Once you've settled in, I suggest you take some time to walk the streets. Who knows what opportunities you might discover.
Hold a moment. I need to fetch a few things before we get to work.
I'll arrange for horses while you do that.
His work is well regarded by all English. Get back here with that, you rogue! Damn sprigs. This accursed city will be the death of me.
You seem troubled, friend.
That's because I am. Greatly so, in fact.
What's happened?
I was robbed. The old Balkan file. Though I've managed to restore what's mine, I fear it's ruined.
You mean the book?
This is no ordinary book. It's an almanac. The first I ever wrote. Benjamin Franklin, pleased to meet you.
Haytham Kenway.
You must be new to Boston.
Why do you say that?
You're still possessed of virtue. To stop and help an old lout like myself. I don't mean to impose, but you seem a spry fellow. Should you happen to find my missing pages, I'll reward you.
Look, I'm not sure if I...
It's all right, all right. If you have the time, hurrah! If not, no harm done. The thing is useless in its current state anyway. But should you somehow manage to restore it, you'll find me inside that general store over there.
Well, that was interesting.
Simpsons of Smithfield. Yeah, come in.
Magistrate Bugs! For all manner of Westphalian products, go to Herr Hoyt's. The best products come directly from the right. Hear all! The Crown fosters advanced knowledge in the colonies. By royal charter, King's College has been created in New York Colony. Be it known that the
We ride for the Green Dragon Tavern. The proprietors are eccentric, but the rooms are spacious and they do not pry.
Have you been told why it is I've come to Boston?
No. Master Birch said I should know only as much as you saw fit to share. He sent me a list of names and bade me ensure you could find them.
And have you had any luck with that?
Aye. William Johnson waits for us at the Green Dragon.
How well do you know him?
Not well, but he saw the order's mark and did not hesitate.
Colonel Washington and Indian allies attacked French forces. Bougainville is still in rage.
You lying, cheating, no good son of a bitch.
Perhaps we've come at a bad time.
Oh, don't be foolish, dearies. Please, sit. Fancy something to eat? A drink, perhaps? Or is it a bed you require?
We've already let rooms here.
Oh, yes. Of course. Masters Lee and Kenway, was it? I'll have your bags brought up. Do you require anything further?
Only privacy.
This way! Sir, William Johnson.
A pleasure. A good lad, if a bit earnest. I'm told you're putting together an expedition.
We believe there's a precursor site in the region. I require your knowledge of the land and its people to find it.
Sadly, my research has been stolen. Without it, I'm of no use to you.
Then we'll find it. Do you have any leads?
My associate, Thomas Hickey, has been making the rounds. He's quite good at loosening tongues.
Well, tell me where I can find him. I'll see if I can't speed things up.
We've heard rumors of bandits operating from a compound southwest of here. You'll likely find him there.
Charles?
Sir,
We'd best be off.
of course.